I acted poor when my rich in-laws came over, but it turned out my old house was worth $4.2 million. Picture the scene. A quiet Saturday afternoon, the kind where the air feels thick with secrets. The doorbell rings, and in walk my son's fancy new family, noses already turned up at my simple life. But oh, if they only knew what was hiding behind these walls. Stick around, because this story of snobbery, sacrifice, and sweet revenge will have you rooting for the underdog and maybe checking your own backyard for buried treasure. That sharp clink of the teacup still echoes in my mind, like the first crack in a dam about to burst. It was late fall, leaves swirling outside like whispers of change. My house smelled of warm lemon pound cake, fresh from the oven, the recipe that's carried me through tough times. I had tidied up, dusted the wooden shelves, straightened the faded quilt on the armchair, hoping to make them feel at home. But deep down, I knew better. Daniel, my son, stepped in first, his hug quick and familiar, those hazel eyes flickering with worry. Then came Claire, all polished and smiling too bright, followed by Victor and Elaine, the in-laws, dressed like they stepped out of a magazine, diamonds sparkling under my old ceiling light. They glanced around, and I saw it, the pity in their eyes, the way they saw my cozy place as a shack. "Oh, Margaret," Elaine sighed, setting her cup down with that clink, her voice dripping with fake kindness. "This is charming, but honestly, how do you live like this? It's so cramped." Victor nodded, chuckling like it was a joke. "We've talked about it as a family. We want to help, get you into a proper condo. 1 bedroom, low maintenance. We'll even cover the down payment. You deserve better than this struggle." Struggle, that word hit like a slap, but I swallowed it, feeling the sting mix with the love I've poured into this life. I smiled, my quiet armor, and poured more chamomile tea, the honey swirling like the secrets I keep. At 62, I've built a real estate empire in the shadows, dressing plain to dodge the gold diggers who chase flash over heart. No one knows, not even Daniel, the boy I raised solo after his dad vanished, leaving us broke and broken. I scrubbed hospital floors by day, flipped properties by night, paid for his private schools, his shiny cars, his dream wedding with those imported flowers. Every sacrifice came with a whisper, "Just be happy, sweetheart." But now he avoided my eyes, shoulders slumped under their words. Elaine patted my hand, her rings cold against my skin. "You're alone here, dear. It's not right." Victor leaned in. "We're hosting a family dinner next weekend, an intervention, really, to sort out your future, help with your poverty." Claire chimed in, eyeing the chipped wall. "Mom's right, this fixer-upper isn't healthy." Fixer-upper, I bit back a laugh, my heart aching with the weight of unspoken truths. Daniel murmured, "Mom, maybe they're onto something." His words twisted like a knife, but I nodded softly. "Okay, I'll come." They left with stiff goodbyes, the door shutting like a chapter closing. Alone, I stood by the window, sunset painting the oak trees gold. My reflection stared back, simple sweater, silver hair, hands etched with years of quiet wins. I whispered, "They have no idea," and felt a spark of joy ignite, warm and fierce. If you've ever hidden your strength or felt the burn of being underestimated, this tale's for you, and the payback, it's coming. If this hooked you and tugged at your heart, smash that subscribe button now for stories her heart holds. We're all about real women, real grit, and those hidden triumphs that make life sweet. Part 2 hits soon. Wait till you see their faces drop. The week after that tea visit felt longer than most years of my life. Every morning I woke up to the same oak trees outside my window, same soft light on the same worn floorboards. But now everything carried a little extra weight. Their words kept replaying, struggling, fixer-upper, intervention, like I was some broken thing they needed to fix. I didn't cry. I've never been one for easy tears. Instead, I baked another cake, chocolate this time, the kind Daniel used to beg for on rainy days when he was small. I wrapped slices in foil and left them on his old dresser in the guest room, just in case he ever came back alone. Friday night came fast. Their house was everything mine wasn't. Big white columns, marble floors that echoed every step, chandeliers that looked like frozen fireworks. Claire greeted me at the door with air kisses that didn't quite land. Victor shook my hand like I was applying for a job. Elaine hugged me too tight, whispering, "We're so glad you came, dear. This is for your own good." They sat me at the end of the long dining table, like I was the guest of honor, or the patient about to get bad news.
Daniel was next to Claire, his hand on hers under the table. I noticed because I notice everything about my boy. Dinner started polite. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes whipped so smooth they looked fake, wine in glasses too thin to feel real. Then Victor cleared his throat, that same important sound from my living room. "Margaret," he began, folding his napkin like it was evidence. "We've all agreed it's time to be honest. You've been living in poverty for years, and it's affecting the whole family. Daniel worries about you constantly. Claire worries about the example it sets for future grandchildren." Future grandchildren. That one slipped in like a knife between ribs. I looked at Daniel. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Elaine jumped in, voice soft and practiced. "We're not judging, honey, but let's face facts. That old house of yours, it's falling apart. The neighborhood's nice, sure, but you're alone. You're aging. A condo would be safer, smaller bills. No more worrying about repairs you can't afford." Claire nodded fast. "And honestly, Mom, it's embarrassing sometimes. When friends ask where Daniel's mom lives, we don't know what to say." Embarrassing. My chest tightened so hard I almost couldn't breathe. All those years I kept quiet, flipping houses in secret, signing deals at 2 a.m. while Daniel slept, hiding bank statements in a shoebox under the attic floor, just so he could have the life they thought came from their side. Private schools, European summers, the deposit for their first home. I never asked for credit. I just wanted him proud. But now he sat there, silent, letting them talk about me like I was a problem to solve. I took a slow sip of water. My hand didn't shake. "I appreciate the concern," I said quietly. "Truly." Victor smiled like he'd won already. "Good, then it's settled. We'll start looking at condos next week. Daniel can help pack. We'll handle the sale of your place. Whatever it brings, we'll top it up so you're comfortable." Sale of my place. That's when the spark turned into a flame inside me. I set my glass down gently. "Before we talk about selling anything, I'd like to show you something." They looked confused. Claire laughed a little, nervous. "What, like a PowerPoint of why you should stay poor?" I smiled, small, calm. "No, just one phone call." I pulled my old flip phone from my purse, the same one I've had for 15 years because fancy ones feel wasteful. I dialed a number I knew by heart. "Hi, Tom," I said when he picked up. "It's Margaret." "Yes, tonight. Can you come over to the house? Bring the paperwork and maybe one of your appraisers?" "Thanks, sweetheart. See you in 20. I hung up. The table was dead quiet. "Who was that?" Victor frowned. "An old friend," I said. "He's in real estate. He knows my house better than anyone." Elaine tilted her head. "Your house? But we're talking about selling it." "I know," I answered softly. "That's why he's coming." Daniel finally looked at me, really looked. Something flickered in his eyes. Worry? Guilt? Maybe the first crack of doubt. I stood up. "We should head back to my place. Dessert's waiting, and so is the truth." No one argued. They followed me out to the cars like children who'd just been told recess was over. As we drove, the city lights blurred past the window. My heart beat steady. Not fast, not scared, just ready. Because in about 20 minutes, the people who thought I was nothing were about to learn I'd been carrying everything all along. If you've ever kept a secret that felt too big to share, or loved someone so much you let them believe a lie, stay right here. The moment their jaws hit the floor is coming, and it's sweeter than any cake I ever baked. Hit subscribe. We pulled up to my house in a little convoy, their shiny SUVs looking out of place against my quiet street, like fancy boats docked in a fishing village. The porch light was already on, soft and yellow, the way I always leave it for Daniel when he was a teenager coming home late. Tom's car was in the driveway already. He stepped out, tall and easy in his old flannel shirt, carrying a leather folder and a quiet smile. Behind him was Sarah, the appraiser he trusts most. Sharp eyes, clipboard in hand, no nonsense. Victor raised an eyebrow as we got out. "This is your friend?" I nodded. "Tom's been helping me with properties for over 20 years. Sarah's one of the best in the city." Elaine gave a little laugh, nervous, thin. "Properties? Plural?" I didn't answer. I just unlocked the front door and let them all in. The living room felt different now, smaller with all these people, but somehow stronger too. The lemon pound cake still sat on the counter, untouched from earlier. I offered coffee. No one took any. Sarah walked straight to the big window, looking out at the backyard, then turned to the street view. She jotted notes fast, like she already knew what she was seeing. Tom opened his folder on the coffee table, old deeds, tax records, photos from years ago. Daniel stood by the fireplace, arms crossed tight. Claire hovered next to him, whispering something. Victor cleared his throat again, louder this time. "Margaret, what exactly is this? We came to talk about your future, not play real estate show and tell." I looked at him straight. "You want to sell my house. You should know what you're selling." Sarah finished her walkthrough in 10 minutes. Basement, attic, the little addition I built myself in '98. She came back, set her clipboard down, and looked around the room like she was about to drop a bomb. "Margaret," she started, voice calm and clear, "I've appraised hundreds of homes in this area. This one, it's special." Elaine tilted her head. "Special how? It's old, needs work." Sarah smiled, small, knowing. "Old, yes, but location? Prime. The lot size, the zoning, the redevelopment boom happening 2 blocks over. This isn't just a house, it's prime redevelopment land. Quiet street, but right in the path of the new commercial corridor the city approved last year." Victor leaned forward. "So it's worth more than we thought?" Sarah looked right at me, then at them. "A lot more." She flipped open her tablet, showed a quick map, red lines marking the growth zone, green dots for recent sales. Then she tapped a number. "Conservative estimate based on current comps and projected value after rezoning, $4.2 million. Could go higher if the bids heat up." The room went dead silent, like someone sucked all the air out. Claire's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No sound. Victor's face turned the color of old paper. Elaine stared at the wall like it had just spoken to her. Daniel, my Daniel, looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time, his eyes wide, shiny. "Mom?" I didn't say anything yet. I let it sink in. Sarah kept going, professional as ever. "The house itself is solid, good bones, good maintenance, but the land? That's the gold. Developers have been quietly buying up blocks. Yours is one of the last holdouts in the sweet spot." Victor finally found words. $4.2 million? He said it slow, like testing if it was real. I nodded once. Yes. Elaine's diamonds suddenly looked smaller. "But you live like someone who doesn't need to prove anything," I softly said. I turned to Daniel. "I never told you because I didn't want you to feel like you owed me. I wanted you to chase your dreams without a shadow hanging over them. The private schools, the cars, the wedding, that came from here, from late nights, smart buys, holding on when everyone said sell. I dressed simple, kept quiet, so no one would chase the money instead of the man I raised." His chin trembled. "Mom, I thought I let them." I stepped closer, put my hand on his arm, gentle like when he was 5 and scared of thunder. "I'm your boy. That's all that matters." Claire looked down at her shoes. Victor rubbed his neck. Elaine just sat there, stunned. Tom closed the folder. "We can talk offers whenever you're ready, Margaret, but tonight I think you've said enough." I smiled, real this time, warm from deep inside. "Dessert, anyone? There's cake." No one moved for a long minute. Then Daniel walked over, wrapped his arms around me tight, the way he used to when he was little and the world felt too big. "I'm sorry," he whispered into my hair. I held him back. "I know, sweetheart, and I love you anyway." Outside, the oak trees rustled in the night wind. Inside, everything had changed, not because of the money, but because the mask was finally off. If you've ever hidden your light so others could shine, or watched someone you love choose the wrong side, the real ending is coming. She's not done yet. The silence in my living room stretched like warm taffy, thick, sweet, impossible to break right away. Everyone stood frozen where they were, Victor still holding his untouched coffee mug, Elaine's diamonds catching the lamplight like they'd lost their shine, Claire staring at the floor as if it might open and swallow her whole. Daniel hadn't let go of me yet. His arms stayed wrapped around my shoulders, his face buried against my hair, the way he did when he was 6 and the lightning scared him.
I could feel his breathing, uneven, shaky. I rubbed his back in slow circles. "It's okay, sweetheart," I whispered. "We're okay." Sarah cleared her throat gently. "I'll leave the full report with Tom. Margaret, call me whenever you're ready to discuss next steps." She gave me a small nod, the kind that says, "I've seen this before, and I'm proud of you," then slipped out the front door with Tom right behind her. The door clicked shut, soft as a secret kept. Victor finally spoke, voice smaller than I'd ever heard it. 4.2 million. That changes things. I turned to face him, still holding Daniel close. "It doesn't change me, Victor. It never did." Elaine dabbed at her eyes with a tissue she pulled from her purse, mascara smudged just a little. "We didn't know. We thought you were struggling." "I was never struggling," I said quietly. "I was choosing to live simply, choosing to protect what matters, choosing not to let money turn me into someone I wouldn't recognize." Claire looked up then, cheeks flushed. "I said it was embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Margaret. That was cruel." I met her eyes. No anger, just truth. "Words hurt, honey, but they can heal too. I forgive you." Daniel pulled back just enough to look at me. His eyes were red-rimmed. "Mom? All those years? The schools, the trips, the house we bought? That was you? Not loans or savings or—" I smiled, soft and real. "All me. And I'd do it again tomorrow, because watching you grow into a good man was worth every late night and every secret." He hugged me again, tighter this time. "I should have known. I should have asked. I let myself believe. You were young, and you trusted the people around you. That's not a crime. But now you know better, and knowing better means doing better." Victor shifted his weight, uncomfortable. "So, what happens now with the house?" I looked around the room, at the quilt my mother made, the photos of Daniel as a baby on the mantle, the rose bushes I planted the year he was born. "I'm going to sell it, not because I need the money, I have plenty already, but because it's time for a new chapter. I'll use part of it to set up a small foundation, mentoring young entrepreneurs, especially women starting from nothing, teaching them how to build quietly, smartly, without losing who they are. No flash, just strength." Elaine's voice cracked. "That's beautiful." Daniel wiped his face with the back of his hand. "Can I help with the foundation?" I squeezed his arm. "I'd love that, sweetheart. We'll do it together." Claire stepped forward, hesitant but brave. "I'd like to help too, if you'll let me." I reached out and took her hand. Cold fingers, but warming fast. "Of course, honey. Family works best when everyone carries a little weight." Victor cleared his throat, softer now. "Margaret, we owe you an apology, a real one. We judged you by the surface. We were wrong." I nodded once. "Apology accepted. Let's leave the past where it belongs, behind us." We sat then, all of us, around the coffee table. I sliced the lemon pound cake I'd baked earlier, the one that still smelled like home. Forks clenched, quiet laughter started, small at first, then real. Daniel told a story about the time he tried to help me fix the leaky faucet and flooded the kitchen. Claire laughed so hard she snorted. Even Victor cracked a smile. As the evening wound down, they left one by one, hugs warmer, promises real. Daniel stayed last. He kissed my cheek. "I love you, Mom, more than I ever said out loud." "I know, and I love you right back." The door closed. The house settled back into its quiet. I walked to the window, looked out at the oak trees under the moon. The old house wasn't just walls and land anymore. It was proof that real wealth isn't in bank accounts or big gestures. It's in the strength you carry inside, the love you give without keeping score, the quiet choices that shape a life worth living. If you've ever felt small, underestimated, or like your story doesn't matter, listen close. Your strength is real, your sacrifices count. And one day, maybe when you least expect it, the world will see exactly who you've been all along. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. If these stories of heart, grit, and quiet wins touch you, hit subscribe right now for Stories Her Heart Holds. More tales of women who rose without shouting about it. Keep shining, even when no one's looking. 6 months later, the oak trees outside my old house were bare again. Winter had come gentle this year, dusting the branches with frost like powdered sugar on a cake. But the house wasn't mine anymore.
The sold sign had come down weeks ago, replaced by construction fences and the low rumble of machines turning dirt. Developers bought it fast. Cash offer, no haggling. $4.8 million in the end. I didn't even blink when the check cleared. Money like that doesn't change a woman who's spent 62 years learning what really matters. I moved into a small cottage a few miles away. 2 bedrooms, big windows, a porch swing that creaks just right when the wind blows. Nothing fancy, just enough room for Daniel, Claire, and the baby they're expecting in spring. Claire calls every Sunday to ask if I want to feel the kicks yet. I always say yes, even though it's still early. Hearing her voice soften when she talks about the little one, that's the real treasure now. The foundation I started, Quiet Strength Mentorship, is small but growing. We meet in a rented room at the community center downtown, 10 women at a time, mostly in their 30s and 40s, eyes wide with the same mix of hope and fear I felt when I started flipping my first duplex back in the 80s. I don't teach them how to get rich quick. I teach them how to build slow and smart, how to read a contract like it's a love letter, how to spot a gold digger before he spots your wallet, how to dress plain on purpose sometimes so the work speaks louder than the shine. Last week, one of the ladies, Maria, single mom of 2, works nights at a diner, showed me the keys to her first rental property, tiny fixer-upper on the edge of town. She bought it with a hard-earned down payment and a loan she fought for. When she hugged me, she cried into my shoulder. "You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself," she said. I held her tight and whispered, "That's what mothers do, honey, even when we're not blood." Daniel comes by every Saturday now. No more stiff family dinners at the big house. We sit on my porch swing, drink chamomile tea, and talk. Really talk. He tells me about the baby names they're thinking of. I tell him stories from my early deals, the time I lost $10,000 on a bad flip and slept in my car for a week so he wouldn't know. He listens without looking away. Last time, he said, "Mom, I used to think success meant big houses and loud cars. Now I see it's this, sitting here, knowing who you are." Claire comes too sometimes. She brings flowers from their garden, roses just like the ones I used to grow. She's quieter now, more thoughtful. One afternoon she asked me straight, "How did you forgive us so easily?" I looked at her over my teacup. "Because holding grudges is heavy, sweetheart, and I've carried enough heavy things in my life. Forgiveness isn't for you, it's for me, so I stay light enough to keep loving." Victor and Elaine, they're trying. They call once a month, send cards on holidays. Victor even asked if he could volunteer at one of the mentorship sessions. I said yes. He showed up in a plain polo shirt, no golf logos, and listened more than he spoke. When a young woman asked him about handling pushy partners, he paused, then said, "Learn from someone who's been underestimated her whole life. She'll teach you better than I ever could." I caught his eye across the room. He gave me a small nod, the first one in years. Tonight, the moon is full, silver light spilling across my little yard. I'm sitting on the swing, wrapped in the same quilt my mother made, thinking about that Saturday afternoon, the clink of the teacup, the pity in their eyes, the secret I carried like a warm coal in my chest. I could have flashed the truth right then, could have waved bank statements like a flag, but I waited, because some victories taste sweeter when they come slow. If you're watching this and you've ever felt invisible, if you've poured yourself into others and wondered if anyone noticed, if you've hidden your strength so the people you love could shine brighter, hear me. You are seen. Your quiet choices matter. Your heart is the real fortune. And one day, maybe on an ordinary afternoon over a cup of tea, the world will finally catch up. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If stories like Margaret's remind you that real power doesn't shout, subscribe to Stories Her Heart Holds. We're sharing more tales of women who built empires in silence, loved without fanfare, and won without needing applause. This is the end of Margaret's chapter, but the beginning of so many others. Keep your light steady. Even when the room is dark, it's still shining. Sweet dreams, friends.
A year after the sale, spring arrived soft and slow in Lahore. Wait, no, back home, in my little corner of the world, the roses I planted in the new yard were blooming early, pink and red against the white fence, just like the ones that used to climb the trellis on my old porch.
I sit out there most mornings now with a cup of chamomile, watching the world wake up, feeling grateful for every quiet minute. The baby came in March, a little girl they named Lily Rose. When Daniel called me at 3 a.m. to say she was here, his voice cracked on the phone. "Mom, she has your eyes." I drove straight to the hospital in my plain old car, the same one I've driven for 15 years, and when I held her for the first time, tiny fingers wrapping around my thumb, I felt something shift inside me. All those years of hiding, of sacrificing, of smiling through the judgments, they led right here, to this warm bundle who already smelled like new beginnings. Claire has changed the most. She's softer now, more present. She texts me recipes she's trying, lemon pound cake of course, and asks for advice on everything from swaddling to starting a college fund. Last month, she asked if I'd teach Lily the same lessons I taught the women in my mentorship group. Not just about money, she said quietly, but about staying true, about not letting people's opinions shrink you. I hugged her so tight I felt her heartbeat against mine. "You're already teaching her that, honey," I told her, "by being brave enough to change." Victor, my boy, is a father now, and it looks good on him. He's taken over running the day-to-day for Quiet Strength Mentorship. We've grown to 3 groups a week, 40 women total, and every single one gets a personal call from him when they close their first deal. He tells them the same thing I tell them. Your worth isn't in what you show the world, it's in what you build when no one's watching. He says it with the same hazel eyes I used to kiss goodnight, but now there's a steadiness there. A pride that comes from knowing where the strength really came from. Victor and Elaine visit every few months. They bring gifts for Lily, soft blankets, tiny books, and they sit on my porch swing without complaining about the creek. Victor even helped me repaint the fence last summer. No fancy contractors, just the 2 of us, brushes in hand, talking about nothing and everything. When we finished, he looked at me and said, "I spent my whole life thinking big houses meant big people. You proved me wrong without ever raising your voice." I patted his arm. "We all learn when we're ready, Victor," I told him. The old house? It's a mixed-use building now. Coffee shop on the ground floor, small offices above, green space out back. I drive by sometimes when I'm in that part of town. I don't feel sad. I feel complete. That land carried me through the hardest years, held my secrets, gave me the freedom to choose love over flash, and now it's giving other people a place to start. Last week, Maria, the single mom from mentorship, brought her 2 kids to meet Lily. They played in the yard while we drank tea on the porch. Maria looked at me with shining eyes. "You saved me, Margaret, not with money, with belief." I shook my head. "No, honey, you saved yourself. I just handed you the mirror so you could see how strong you already were." As the sun sets tonight, painting the sky pink and gold, I rock on the swing with Lily asleep on my chest. Her little breaths are steady, trusting. Daniel and Claire are inside, laughing over dinner prep. The house smells like roast chicken and fresh bread. Simple, warm, real. If I could go back to that Saturday afternoon, the clink of the teacup, the pity in their eyes, the moment I whispered, "They have no idea," I wouldn't change a thing. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't loud or flashy. It's living well, loving deep, and watching the people you carried finally carry their own light. So, if you're still here, still watching these stories, know this: you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. The right people will see it eventually, and the wrong ones, they'll miss out on the best part of you. Thank you for every minute you've spent with me in Margaret's world.
5 years have slipped by like pages in a well-loved book. Soft, steady, full of little highlights you only notice when you look back. Lily Rose is 5 now, all knees and elbows, with my hazel eyes and her mother's quick laugh. She runs through my cottage yard every weekend, chasing butterflies and asking 1,000 questions. "Nana, why do roses have thorns? Nana, did you really live in a magic house once?" I tell her yes, the house was magic because it held secrets only strong hearts could keep. The cottage is still small, still simple. White walls, wooden floors that creak under Lily's bare feet, the same quilt on the couch. But now there are crayon drawings taped everywhere, stick figure families with big hearts, houses with dollar signs crossed out and replaced with smiling faces.
Lily says, "Money is nice, but love is bigger." She heard me say it once to a mentorship lady and made it her own, out of the mouths of babes. Quiet Strength mentorship isn't quiet anymore, not in the way it used to be. We have a real office now, a cozy brick building downtown with big windows and a garden out back. Over 300 women have come through the doors. Some started with nothing but a dream and a beat-up car. Now they own duplexes, small apartment buildings, even a coffee shop chain that hires single moms first. Maria runs one of the locations. She named it Rose and Strength Coffee. Every cup comes with a little note inside the lid. "You are enough." She still calls me every month to say thank you. I still tell her she did the hard part. Daniel is the heart of it all now. He left his old corporate job 2 years ago, said the suits and the numbers felt empty after holding Lily for the first time. He teaches the Saturday workshops himself, using stories from my early days, the time I negotiated my first big flip with $47 in my bank account, the nights I slept in the car so Daniel could have new shoes for school. The women listen with wide eyes, then hug him when he's done. He always looks over at me in the back row, gives a small smile that says, "This is because of you, Mom." Claire, she's become my closest friend. We bake together on Sundays. Lemon pound cake, chocolate chip cookies, whatever Lily wants. She tells me things she never told anyone else. How ashamed she felt that first afternoon in my old living room. How the clink of that teacup still haunts her dreams sometimes. "I judged you by the curtains," she says, voice low. "I'll spend the rest of my life making sure Lily never judges anyone by theirs." I squeeze her hand. "You already are, sweetheart. Look at our girl." Victor and Elaine moved closer last year. A smaller house, no columns, no chandeliers. They come for Sunday dinners now. Victor grills chicken on my little back porch. Elaine reads stories to Lily on the swing. They laugh easier, apologize less, because real change doesn't need constant sorries. It shows up in the doing. I drive past the old property sometimes. It's thriving. The coffee shop is always busy. People sit outside under string lights, talking, working, living. I don't feel loss when I see it. I feel pride. That $4.2 million, well, 4.8 by the end, didn't buy happiness. It bought time. Time to teach. Time to hold grandbabies. Time to watch the women I mentored stand taller than I ever did at their age. Tonight, Lily is asleep on my lap, thumb in her mouth, quilt tucked under her chin. Daniel and Claire are on the couch, heads together, whispering about tomorrow's workshop. The house is quiet, except for the soft tick of the clock and the occasional creak of the swing outside in the breeze. If I could whisper back to that 62-year-old me, the one pouring tea while they sneered at my shack, I'd say, "Wait. Hold your secrets close. Let them underestimate you, because one day they'll see, not just the money, but the life you built while they were looking the other way. And the sweetest part? They'll wish they'd seen it sooner. But by then, you won't need their eyes anymore. You'll have hundreds of others looking up to you instead." If you've carried this story with me from that first clink of the teacup to this quiet porch night, thank you. You've been part of something real. Subscribe to Stories Her Heart Holds if these journeys of hidden strength, second chances, and unbreakable love keep finding you in the dark moments. There are always more Margarets out there, waiting for their moment to shine without ever raising their voice.
15 years have passed since that Saturday afternoon when a teacup clinked too hard and changed everything. I'm 77 now, silver hair all the way, hands a little slower, but the heart still beats steady, still remembers every sacrifice like it was yesterday. The cottage is the same, though the porch swing has new cushions Claire sewed last summer. Roses still bloom wild along the fence, the descendants of those old bushes I planted when Daniel was in diapers. Every spring, Lily helps me prune them. She's 20 now, tall like her dad, eyes sharp like mine, and already running Quiet Strength mentorship full-time. The program has chapters in 3 states, online groups reaching women in small towns across the country. They call her Coach Lily. She laughs when I tease her about it, but I see the pride in her smile, the same pride I felt the first time I closed a deal nobody thought I could. She came to me last week with a folder, thick, worn at the edges. "Nana," she said, sitting on the swing beside me, I want to show you something." Inside were letters, hundreds of them, women writing thank yous, sharing how one conversation, one workshop, one quiet push changed their lives. One letter from a woman named Sophia. "I was about to give up on my dream of owning a home. Your grandmother's story, the one about acting poor while being rich inside, gave me courage to keep going. I bought my first duplex last month. My kids have their own rooms now. Thank you for never shouting your strength. It taught me to whisper mine." I read them slowly, tears blurring the ink. Lily rested her head on my shoulder. "You started this, Nana, but it's bigger than us now." Daniel and Claire live nearby, a modest house with a big backyard for grandkids, 2 more after Lily, twins, boys, full of energy and questions. Daniel still teaches the core workshop every Saturday. He tells the story of that intervention dinner like it's family legend now, not with anger, but with gratitude. "I almost lost the best person I've ever known because I listened to the wrong voices," he says. "Don't make my mistake. Look deeper. The richest people in the room are often the ones who don't need to prove it." Claire runs the scholarship arm. Full rides for single moms, women leaving bad situations, anyone who reminds her of who she used to be before she learned better. She still bakes lemon pound cake with me every holiday. We laugh about how she used to set the teacup down too hard. "I was so scared of looking weak," she admits. I pat her hand. "We all were, honey. That's why we're gentle with each other now." Victor passed 2 years ago, peaceful, in his sleep. At the funeral, Elaine held my hand the whole time. She whispered, "She finally understood what you tried to show us without words." She lives with us part-time now, helps with the boys, reads bedtime stories in her soft voice. We sit on the porch most evenings, watching the sunset paint the roses gold. No more diamonds, just quiet company. That's the real luxury. Tonight, the house is full. Lily's hosting a mentorship retreat here. 20 young women sleeping on air mattresses in the living room, laughing over tea and cake. I sit in my armchair, listening to their stories, feeling the echo of my own. One girl, barely 25, eyes wide with fear and hope, asks me the question they always ask eventually. "Nana Margaret, how did you stay so calm when they looked down on you?" I smile, slow and warm. "Because I knew who I was before they decided what I was worth, and I knew the truth would come out when it was supposed to, not when I forced it. Patience isn't weakness, sweetheart. It's power with manners." They laugh softly. Lily catches my eye across the room, proud, teary. She mouths, "I love you." I mouth it back. As the night quiets and the women drift to sleep, I step outside. The oak trees from the old neighborhood are long gone, but the stars are the same. I whisper to the sky, to the 62-year-old me who smiled through the insults, who hid her empire so her son could fly free. "Thank you," I say, "for waiting, for choosing love over applause, for proving that real wealth is measured in hearts that keep beating stronger because you were here." If you've walked every step of this story with me, from that sharp clink of the teacup to this peaceful porch under the stars, you're not just viewer, you're family. You've carried Margaret's quiet strength in your own way. Maybe you've hidden your light too. Maybe you've forgiven someone who didn't deserve it yet. Maybe you've whispered, "They have no idea," to your own reflection. Wherever you are tonight, know this: your story isn't over. The best chapters are still being written, in silence, in sacrifice, in the small choices no one sees, until they change everything. Thank you for every tear, every smile, every minute you gave this tale. If stories of unbreakable hearts, hidden empires, and love that outlasts judgment keep lighting something inside you, stay subscribed to Stories Her Heart Holds. There are always more Margarets, more Lilies, more you. This is the final good night from Margaret, older, softer, still shining. Keep believing in the quiet ones. They're usually the strongest. Sweet dreams, dear friends. The world is better because you're in it. Until we meet in the next heart story, rest well.